Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 17 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Deborah Battle. Deborah, I am so sorry that I missed your cat Percival's birthday. It was on August 2nd. I didn't see your email till after. It was too late. I'm sorry. But happy belated birthday to Percival. And Deborah wants to know, what do I think about a potential season with all first evictees? I have mixed feelings about this. I would love to see, like, season 10 Brian come back and, like, let's give Jody another shot, huh? But then there's, like, those annoying surfer ones. There was, like, 3 surfer ones that were out first. Like, do we really need to see them again? I mean, like, some people were out the first week for a reason. So, again, mixed emotions about it. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. And thank you, Deborah, for your question. Okay, let's see where we're at. So, as of yesterday, Shelly and Vanessa are up on the block against each other, and it's like a dream come true. So, Vanessa was complaining about how Becky yelled at her. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you should check out yesterday's spoiler, because the immediate fallout after the power veto ceremony was just wonderful. So, Vanessa's telling everyone Becky's mad at herself because she went back on her word. I don't think that's what's going on there. And Vanessa is telling Shelly her reasons for putting me up weren't even that good. Well, of course Vanessa's not going to think they're that good. She's the queen of the reason. So, like, anyone else's reasons are not going to, they're going to be subpar to her. It just makes sense. So then Vanessa was begging Austin to help her. She's like, Austin, I need you to flip the vote. Vanessa is shocked that James would want to keep Shelly because James is the one that split up Shelly and her love son, Clay. So, like, obviously she's going to go after him. Why would he want to keep her? So she's just, like, baffled by that. But Austin is like, yeah, well, it would be really difficult to get one vote from that group of 3 because, like, they won't even leave the have-not room without each other, so, like, they're gonna vote together. Honestly, it would be easier to flip all 3 of them than to flip just one. So he's like, I'm gonna try. So then Vanessa brings up how she saved Austin in the past, but she says this to so many people, and I find it ironic because Vanessa is usually the one that puts these people in danger, and then at the last second, she saves them. So, like, she creates the mess, and then she cleans it up, and she's like, you owe me. So, I mean, it doesn't really work that way. I don't know. And a lot of people have been picking up on that lately, but Austin's just like, all right, I'll see what I can do. I'm not making any promises. I'm going to try my best. Okay, so then Austin and Liz are strategizing in the bathroom, and they're talking about the double eviction that they feel is coming up, and it's this week. Exciting stuff. So Austin's like, yeah, I think we're pretty good. Like, I don't think the other side's coming after us. The other side is likely going to target Shelly or Steve before they come after us. And Liz is like, well, if I win HOH, I don't even care about the plan. I'm not going after Shelly and Steve. She wants to nominate James and Jackie. She says, F the plan. She's going after the other side. Meanwhile, James, Meg, and Jackie are all strategizing, and it sounds like they don't really want to stick with the plan either. Like, they kind of do. Big picture, they do. They want to go after Shelly during the double eviction, but they don't want to put Steve or Johnny Mac up against her because they feel like it would be way too easy for Austin and the twins to save Shelly instead of Steve or Johnny Mac. So they want to put up someone like Liz because that's going to force Austin and Julia to vote out Shelly. But they have to be very careful about who they put up. They can't just put up like Austin because they're not so confident that the twins would keep him over Shelly. Sorry. So Shelly and the twins were chatting out by the hot tub, and Shelly seems really confident that she's staying this week. She feels like people are definitely going to be voting out Vanessa, and she's feeling very comfortable now. She's already talking about plans for next week, and she's getting pretty feisty again. She was all like, before, but now she's like, bleh. So she wants to go after the other side. She's encouraging the twins to do it. And then the conversation turns and they start talking about how James has been wearing a few of Clay's shirts. And Shelly is just like, he's doing it on purpose, and that gray hoodie was one of my favorite shirts on Clay, and he's just rubbing it in my face. Give me a break. So then they're talking about how it's so messed up and they're planning on stealing the shirts back. This is so dumb. Like, I feel dumber just for having listened to that conversation. So a little while later, Shelly and Julia sneak into the have-not room while James is not in there, and they steal that gray hoodie, and Shelly's just like, it doesn't even smell like clay anymore. It smells like James. Ew. And then a few seconds later, she's like, you know what? It doesn't really smell that bad. So then they take the shirt and they hide it in the purple bedroom, and I guess they're planning on going back to get like 2 other shirts, but they couldn't find them at the time. It's just like really childish. Like, he's not there anymore. He can't freaking wear the hoodie. Just like get over it. Meanwhile, while that was going on, James was making a friggin' twister board out of tortillas. Why not? Austin was leading a workout class, and then after that, Austin visits Vanessa in the comic bedroom where she's posted up. She was crying and it was so dramatic. Vanessa was just like, my friends all suck. You guys suck. Do you even care if I'm okay? And Austin's like, whoa, like, we thought you were asleep. Like, we honestly thought you were asleep, Vanessa. And Vanessa's like, it's so messed up. Like, people checked in on Jason and they were hanging out with him still, and I'm just being treated like Audrey. Whoa, what, do you think you're better than Audrey? I'm seeing some similarities with you and Audrey. You're both freaking, like, just chilling in your bed all day. You're wearing sunglasses. You're taking your meals in your bed. What do you expect? Like, people don't want to talk to Mopey McMoperson. So she's like, it's not cool. I'm being treated subhuman. So then Austin lets people know, like, yo, Vanessa's not happy with what's going on here. So Julia and Steve go and visit Vanessa. It's seriously like she's at the hospital. That's what it seems like. So she's like, again, going on her rant about no one is talking to her, no one's coming to see her, there's no logical reason for her to be up on the block, like everybody else has gotten an explanation, and hers wasn't good enough, and Becky was rude and she yelled at her. That's not what happened. But anyway, then Vanessa starts going in on Steve. She's just accusing him of knowing about this plan the whole time. He did know the night before, but he's denying it. Eventually he's like, you know, I was really suspicious and I thought there could be a chance that you could be going up on the block, but I didn't know. And Vanessa's just like, yeah, sure, okay. She knows. So then James was talking to Meg and Jackie, and he's like, yo, that gray hoodie from Clay is missing. He was like, I put it down for a few minutes on my dentist chair in the have-not room. I go back in there and it's gone. He looked for it for like 15 minutes. He knows that Shelly took it. He's like, this is so stupid. I would have just given it back to her if she had asked, but she didn't. So like, what's the deal? Is this gonna come back to bite Shelly in the butt? Hoodiegate! Hashtag Hoodiegate. So Steve and Johnny Mac were having a strategy chat, and Johnny Mac is like, moving forward, we need to figure out who we're going to be working with here, because we're kind of riding the middle right now and we need to pick a side. Are we going to work with the Oz twins or the Goblins? Now, the Goblins is referring to James, Meg, and Jackie, and Becky, I guess, sort of, but mostly James, Jackie, and Meg. People have started calling them that. So Johnny Mac is like, I don't know what side we're going to go with, but I definitely want to work with you, Steve, Shelly, and Becky. So Steve is like, oh, I don't know, isn't Becky kind of with the Goblins? And Johnny Mac is like, you know what? We're going to be able to pull her in. It's going to be all good. Just relax, baby Steve. So then Johnny Mac is like, we need to win HOH next week and just pick a side and decimate them. And Steve is just like, yeah, of course. But we know from Steve talking to himself that he wants to throw this next HOH. He doesn't want to be in a position where he has to show everyone his cards, so he doesn't want to do that. He's going to be throwing, but I think Johnny Mac is going to go for it, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see who he wants to work with. Alright, so last night some crazy stuff went down. It looks like the tide could be turning. It's only Tuesday right now, so things could still change again, but you never know. Okay, so Meg, James, and Jackie were strategizing, and they're thinking about voting out Shelly this week and keeping Vanessa. So they were kind of talking over what's going on, and they're like, you know what? Shelly is coming after all 4 of us. Vanessa only seems to be going after Becky. She's really angry at Becky. So it would make sense for us more to keep Shelly and not, to keep Vanessa and not Shelly. Also, Shelly is much better at competitions than Vanessa. There's a greater chance that she's gonna win. They'd rather have Vanessa around for the double eviction than Shelly. That's making them really nervous. That double eviction is weighing very heavily on their minds. So they're kind of worried though, like, that Becky's gonna freak out if they decide to flip the vote. Yeah, I'd freak out too if I were Becky. So, you know, they're gonna think about that. They feel like Austin and the twins would definitely be down to switch. It would be very easy to convince them. Yeah. But they're gonna think about this a little bit more before talking to Becky. They don't want to jump the gun on this and freak her out for no reason. So they're gonna sit on it. We'll see what happens there. It's making me nervous. Honestly, I can't decide if it would be better for Shelly or Vanessa to go. Obviously, I would love to see Vanessa go. Like, how many chances are they going to get for this? But then again, how many chances are they going to have to get rid of Shelly? I mean, it's a win-win to get rid of either of them, but who is going to be more of a win? Leave it in the comments. So this morning, Becky got the HOH camera. They took lots of pictures with Gronk, the inflatable shark. Fun stuff. And then Steve had a little strategy chat with Sunglasses Vanessa. She will not take off those sunglasses. So, of course, he had to visit her in her room. So Steve is like, Vanessa, I want to give you my vote this week, but I also don't want to mess up my game, and that could definitely mess up his game. So he's trying to come up with a plan. He's thinking maybe I'll be able to tell people that I made a 2-week deal with you when you were HOH, and he wants to follow through with that and vote for her to stay. So Vanessa's like, how about this? I'll make you a deal. If I don't have the votes within 2 hours of the live show, I'll let you know and you don't have to vote for me to stay. So she's like, I'll release you. So messed up. So Steve is like, yeah, I don't know if I can promise you that. So then Vanessa's like, I've given you so much information, like you'd be so screwed without me, blah, blah, blah. And Steve is like, whoa, I don't know yet. Just like, let me get back to you on it. So then Steve is talking to Johnny Mac. He decides to try out his plan. He's like, yeah, I had this deal with Vanessa. I don't know if I can vote against her. I don't want to be that kind of person. And Johnny Mac is kind of like, yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea. You might mess things up with Shelly, and we want to work with Shelly, so like maybe don't do that. And Steve is like, you know what? I'm gonna talk to Shelly, see what she thinks. If she tells me she doesn't like it, I won't do it. Something tells me Shelly's not gonna like that. Yeah, so then this afternoon, James, Meg, and Jackie were talking more about who they're going to keep this week, and it seems like they still really want to vote out Shelly. So James runs into Steve, and he's like, hey, I want to talk to Vanessa later. She's been sleeping all day, but you let her know. So, oh boy, that's going to be an interesting conversation. Vanessa and James. We definitely have that to look forward to tomorrow. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think about this vote flip? Do you think it's a good idea? I honestly don't know yet. So let me know what you think, and until tomorrow, much love. Edit.